Okay, so most of us as email marketers have wanted to personalize email campaigns. We want to send out the right message to the right person at the right time. But the question is always, well, how do I do that? How do I take a promotional campaign and make it really personalized? And the reality is most of us are just adding first names to the top of emails. That's really the only personalization that we're doing. Everyone's getting the same email. Everyone's getting the same content. So in this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to create highly personalized emails with hundreds or even thousands of variants within RightMessage that work seamlessly with your email platform, and it'll only take you a few minutes to actually go from a single email to thousands of emails. So let me show you how it's done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through three things. I'm going to first show you how to set up a personalized email in RightMessage. So how do you create one from scratch? Then I'm going to show you how to preview it to make sure that it works for all the different variants that you're targeting. And then I'll show you how to load it into your email platform. Finally, I'll talk about a few best practices around what should you personalize, how do you make sure that you're not going to run into any issues, and so on and so forth, things that I've picked up over the years, really. So to begin, within RightMessage, if you go down to the emails section on the bottom left, you'll be in the personalized emails area, click new, and this will bring you to our email editor. So the first thing you're going to see is Righty popping up, which is he's going to ask you, do you want me to help you create an email? I'm going to decline Righty today, but you can use Righty to help you bootstrap things. So if you don't have an email yet and you want a welcome email, just tell Righty, he'll look at your account and he will create a personalized welcome email for you. Likewise, you could just give Righty your existing email and say, hey, personalize it the way you want. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to do things the manual way. Okay, so I already have on my clipboard an email that I'd like to send people to promote a free trial of a hypothetical product called WorkForge. So WorkForge is a fake project management tool. And this is the email that I/Claude came up with. And what I want to do is I want to take this single email and make it really personalized for every recipient. So what I'm going to do to begin is I'm going to think about what data I have to work with. So within RightMessage for workflow, I have the survey here that is capturing a good amount of data about every new person who joins the WorkForge email list. So we capture quite things like, do they work with a team? How are they currently managing projects? How is it working out for them, depending on what they're using? What kind of work do they do? Are they an agency? Do they do software? Are they a course creator, e-commerce, something else? What is the main thing that they're looking for from WorkForge? Do they want visibility? Do they want to stop switching between tools, and so on and so forth? So we have a good amount of data here to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the email and I'm going to just really quickly read it through and think, what could we change? So the first thing at the first sentence of the email is about context switching. So switching between apps and so on and so forth. The reality is that this might not be the pain point that everyone has on the email list. And I know that because one of the questions I'm asking is, if we could help you do one thing, what would that be? And stop switching between 5 different tools is one option of many. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pivot off of the primary goal question. So within RightMessage, all I need to do is select the text of this first paragraph. And I can either write the variations manually, or I'm going to use AI in this case. So I'm going to click AI. I'm going to find the primary goal question. I'm going to choose it. I could give Righty some instructions about how I want to use this, but I'm actually just going to let him do his thing. So what this is going to do is it's going to take that first paragraph of this email, and it's going to create one variant per answer option that somebody could select. So they join my list, they say, here's why I'm here, my goal is X, and then we're going to make it so this email will change the first paragraph based on that. So that's done, and you'll see now that the first paragraph now has a blue background. So if I hover over this, you can see here that we are changing this first paragraph in multiple ways based on their primary goal. So if their goal is visibility, you know, that feeling when half your morning disappears into hunting down project updates, blah, 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 blah. If their goal is reducing busy work, you know, that feeling when half your morning disappears into mindless status updates. Client communication, you know, that feeling when half your morning disappears into client updates. And if I click into this, I can actually go in through and just review what AI came up with. So here, depending on how somebody is segmented, they will get a different welcome paragraph. And I can go and I can tweak this, I can make it mine, and so on and so forth. But the really important thing here is if you look over here, we now have 6 possible variants of this email. And that's huge. We've gone from a single email to now 6 possible emails with the first paragraph changing based on their goal. And this is the beginnings of personalization, right? Like if somebody has a certain goal, they read this email and that goal is reflected to them immediately. Yet we can go further. We can go and we can micro change a lot of different parts of this email to be based on other questions that we're getting data for. So let's find another question real quick. So we ask people about what kind of work do they do? I'm going to think, well, where can I use that? So why don't we do, okay, the teams using Workforge are seeing results that actually matter. So I'm going to change this text. And I'm going to click AI again. I'm going to now choose work type. And I'm just going to uncheck the other. This is actually a bug. There shouldn't be 2 others. I forgot to remove that. But what we'll do is we'll have it so the default content will be what's already here, which is the teams using Workforge are seeing results that actually matter. So Write Message will automatically make sure that there's always a fallback. Because the reality is not everyone will get segmented. Not everyone will do your survey. Some people will just close a tab and they just won't have any segmentation data attached to them. So we want to make sure that there's a good fallback. And Write Message's AI mode automatically just uses your existing content that you gave it as that fallback text. So we're going to now create variations for these 4 different business types. I'm going to click Generate. And in a second, that first sentence here, right here, is now in blue. So if I hover over this again, the creative agencies using Workforge are seeing results that actually matter. If it's software development, the development teams using Workforge are seeing results that actually matter, and so on and so forth. And I want to bring your attention now to the right side. And now we have 30 variants. So we went from one variant to 6 to 30, and that's just math in action, right? We have 4 different options for business type, and that multiplied by the options for primary goal. And then obviously there's the fallback in the fact that some of these don't have answer options, so those are taken into account. But we have 30 possible combos of this email. So let's continue. So let's find another question now that we could work with. So we're asking people about how do they manage projects currently. Okay, how about we do, how have they tried to fix their problem before, which is called previous attempt to fix. Let me find a way to change this. So let's change this paragraph right here. We'll go back to previous attempt to fix. And as you can see, all I'm doing is I'm looking at a normal email, which I just gave to Write Message. I'm looking at the data that I'm collecting already through my segmentation surveys or quizzes. And the reality is we could actually map this to any data you already have. So if you wanted to change a paragraph based on if somebody's a customer or not, visually you can do that really simply, as you're seeing with Write Message. So now we've done the same thing here, where depending on somebody's how they've tried to fix the problem before, there will be different outputs for that. And now we're already now at 120 variants. So somebody getting this email, if their goal is to get better team visibility, you can now see this updating in real time. And they are an agency, you can see now creative agencies, and they've tried to fix this problem before by building their own system. This is exactly what they'd see. This is the variant that they'd see. Again, if their issue is team visibility, you know that feeling when half your morning disappears into hunting down project updates. If their type is agency, the creative agencies using Workforge are seeing results that actually matter. And now we've gotten, again, 120 variants of this email that based on 3 different questions that we're asking during our new subscriber segmentation survey, this is automatically going to change this email, this one email, in 120 different ways. So I think a lot of people get confused thinking, do I need to go into my email platform and add 120 emails? No, you add a single email, one email, and it will dynamically change in real time based on who's receiving the content. So that's what we've built with Write Message. And you're probably thinking right now, okay, this is incredible. I want to now make it so every newsletter I send, every welcome email, every sales email is hyper-personalized. But how do I get this into my email platform? So we make that really, really easy for you. If you click on email code, you'll see here, this is the thing you need to copy and paste into your email platform of choice. So RightMessage knows how your email platform works. We know how they personalize content. We know the coding that they require to make it work. And as you can see on my screen, there's a lot of really ugly if, else if code. This is called liquid code. This is what most email marketing platforms use to personalize emails. The problem has always been writing this stuff is a total pain. So we abstract all of that away for you. You have a visual editor here where you can point and click, highlight text, change stuff, do whatever. And when you're ready to send this, you simply click on the email code section here. I'm just going to copy and paste this, put it on my clipboard. And now I'm going to go into Bento, which is the email tool that I'm demoing in this case. Start a trial. And now all I need to do is just paste this in. And you can see it's formatted the liquid code here, so we can see it. And now all I need to do is send this email, and that's it. So if you've wanted to create personalized emails, I truly believe that this is the way to do it. As you can see, it doesn't take much time. You simply look at the data you have on hand, and then you make some changes. So I want to close this video by talking a bit about what changes should you make. So a common question that we're asked is, well, given an email, how personalized should it be? Should I make every sentence change? Should I make it so there are 10,000 variants or something like that? And the reality is you don't really need to. We have customers who have had 2x increases in sales by literally changing maybe the first and second paragraph and maybe the PS. And that's what I want to recommend you do, is don't focus too much on everything. What matters is people open your email, they start reading it, and you want to hook them. You want to get them engaged. And the way to do that is make it so that very first paragraph of text that they read is all about them. In this case, they shared when they joined our list that they have a primary goal in exploring Workforge. So we're just parroting that back at them. We're saying, look, if your goal is visibility or switching between tools, you know that feeling when you're switching constantly between apps, you're checking Trello, then Slack, then the spreadsheet, blah, 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 blah. That's somebody who told you that's their issue, that's going to hook them, and they're going to be more likely to read the rest. Whereas somebody else who wants team visibility, checking who's working on what, then asking 3 different people about the same deadline, blah, 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 that speaks to them. And that's what we've seen work time and time again, is it's just human nature, right? If I'm reading an email and it's speaking directly to me, it's talking my language, it's talking about my pain points, those are the things that you just want to focus on personalizing. So I tell people, first paragraph, maybe the first 2 paragraphs, anything with bullets. So in this case, this bullet list of features, I'd probably want to personalize some of these to be based on what I know about the person. So if they're a technical person, maybe highlight technical features. If they're the marketer on the team, highlight the marketing features and things like that. And then usually anything around the offer. So here we have start a free trial, maybe the text right before it. Maybe if I have a PS after my signature, really anything people skim. So, in this case, maybe the bolded text here, because this is a bit of a subheadline or something. But it doesn't need to take much. And the AI mode we've built into RightMessage is smart enough to know how you write. We know how you're asking questions of people. We know how much data you have. This is a fake account, so there's no data. But we look at the answer rates and things like that, and we can actually help you make sure that the content being personalized is the right content and it aligns with the way you speak and so on and so forth. And frankly, the more emails you load into this, the better the AI generative content's going to be, because we'll have more data to train on. So the only other thing I want to mention that is a bit of a gotcha for some teams is that if I'm changing a single word, let's say I'm changing the word, let me just find an example here. Okay, I'll just say a company, right? And I want to change the word company to be based on their work type, so what they do. So we'll say an agency, a software shop, a coach, a online store, and we'll leave it like that. So what happens here is we have a company, and then we have agency, software shop, coach, and online store. The problem becomes if I change the to agency here, you'll see it says a agency. Grammatically, that doesn't work. For software companies, a software shop, that's fine. So one thing I'd recommend you do here is if you're doing anything with, this is going to show how long it's been since I've been in school. Is it an article? An? I usually would put that in the personalization itself. So I would say, an agency, a software shop, a coach, and so on and so forth. And then I would get rid of the a text here. So that way, and let me make it so the default is a company. Cool. Okay, so that way it would say a software shop and so on. And you're baking the article, again, I think that's the right word, into the personalization token itself. But that's really all I wanted to show you. Again, the process, and we use this to write message. A lot of our big accounts are using this and doing very well personalizing emails, but the process is basically write your email the normal way. However you tend to write your emails, keep doing that. Paste it into Write Message as a new email. Do your personalizations, point and click personalize. When you're ready, bring it back into your email platform and then queue it up to send. And that's really all you need to do. It doesn't take much time. And I think when you see the results that come with hyper personalized emails, you'll never go back to doing one size fits all.